everyone. Good evening. If you're here on the west coast of the United States, where we are here in California, we're broadcasting from, and welcome to our friends all over the United States and all over the world, including our friends in India. Good morning to you. And a very happy Mother's Day to everyone, especially all our moms, our daughters, our grandmothers, our granddaughters, and the mothers to be. This is a very special day because none of us would be here if it weren't for our kind mothers to bring us to life and to give us the wonderful values that they gave us. So this is truly a special, special presentation with a big thanks to all our moms for their love, their caring, their compassion, their kindness and patience with which they have nurtured the world. And with that theme in mind, we have a wonderful panel for you today. The objectives are to bring about a sense of positivity and optimism in a time of uncertainty worldwide. We have a stellar panel of women presenters today, led by my dear friend, Dr. Sneh Bindra, who's a women's health and wellness specialist. She works at Kaiser Permanente. My other really good friend, Dr. Sneh Bindra, who's the president of the American Association of Physicians of Indian origin, and our dear friend, Dr. Madan Kataria, who joins us zooming in all the way live from India. We've seen his videos, we've seen his recordings on YouTube and other places. So we're truly privileged to have such an amazing panel with us and joined by our own Somnath Chatterjee, who brings this all together to address wellness best practices for moms in COVID times, addressing personal issues and creating an air of optimism and celebrating motherhood with laughter and cheer. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Sneh Bindra to get us started. Welcome. And we call her Mona lovingly. So Mona, welcome to the show.
Hi, good evening, good morning, namaste everyone, and a very happy Mother's Day to you all, whether you're celebrating in person or in memories. Honestly, I think every day should be a Mother's Day because one day is not enough, and that's my feminist side speaking. But I want to thank Pankaj for giving me this opportunity to interact and connect with you all today. A little bit about myself. My name, as Pankaj introduced, Sneh Bindra. I'm a certified internist practicing with the Kaiser Permanente in Central Valley, specifically in Modesto, for more than 16 years. My leadership role that I'm really, really passionate about is serving as co-chair for physicians, health and wellness. And in Central Valley Kaiser, we are 800 plus physicians. And the role that I'm really, really passionate about is the lead for Women Physician Wellness Group. And we have about 300 plus women physicians here in Central Valley Kaiser Permanente. So people ask me like, why specifically, oh yeah, happy Mother's Day. So people ask me specifically why women physician, why is it so unique and why is it more important? So I kind of direct them to like slide 1, which we're gonna show. And they pretty much get the idea when they look at the slide in terms of like the hurdles that we women physician or women in general, I would say, because whether you're a stay-at-home mom or a professional, I mean, this pretty much, sums up the racetrack picture. We can put that up. So that pretty much sums up, what we go through, our challenges we face as women. That's the one, right? Thank you. A little bit about myself outside work, interesting bit. I'm a Punjabi, married to a Malayali. So shadi.com working well for now. I have 2 boys. I have 14-year-old Tejas, who's actually a published author of 2 sci-fi books on Amazon. And all the proceeds have been donated to a Valley Children's Hospital. He's been writing since he was 6 years old, and everyone says it's some Malayali genes. So I said, okay. My other one is a different story. He's my 11-year-old. And he takes more after Punjabi genes. So for me, balancing like motherhood between like 2 states, it can be challenging sometimes, but I guess, God, granted me the gift of love for challenges. So I love them so much dearly. So today we are here to talk about some wellness, share some best practices, and how do we create and maintain optimism, especially during the times like this. I like my talks to be very casual, laid back, interactive. So please feel free to text your questions, and we'll try to, take as many questions during the time that I have. And if we have more questions, I can have Som send those questions to me, and then I can get back to them. So, not the best start, right? And possible ending to 2020. We had so many milestone events planned, had to be canceled, changed to virtual, or postponed. And change is something that most of us, we don't take very well, especially when it's lasting for such a long time and it's coming with so much of uncertainty. We are grieving our loss of normalcy. We are fearing the health of ourselves and our loved ones. We are fearing economy, like what impact it's going to have on our economy. So there's so many variables, constant fear. And how do we get to cope? How do we have some skills to kind of get over this phase that we are feeling? So we're going to have some discussion about like whether it's the kids, whether it's the working families, or whether it's our seniors, like how it's affecting, how this pandemic is affecting all different age groups, all different demographics. So as a physician, I never knew I could work from home other than charting, documenting, but doing virtual care, talking to patients, taking care of patients has actually been an interesting experience for me. And actually we've done really well in terms of that. And I think that's encouraging in some ways that it might give some flexibility to physicians to be able to work from home, and maybe the work-life balance actually might actually happen, not a myth anymore. But there's one slide I want to show, slide number 2. That's the one. So this is how it is, right? Working from home. As mom, as wife, we have so many things, like in between, I'm calling patients, doing video visits, I'm going down, fixing breakfast, then coming upstairs, putting my white coat, getting ready for video visit. So, it's kind of put a little bit of challenge into our, what I call the second shift as a mom, because we are still, oh yeah, one thing that's missing is a barber, because I think I'm the official barber of the house now. So, um, so, so what we're doing is we are, as women, we are doing our regular job, daytime job, and then our second shift starts, whether it's daughter, daughter-in-law, mother, wife, and this has taken its toll. I hear about it. And I mean, I just want to kind of make sure that we all are coping well with it. I want to make sure that you're asking for help, and making sure that you have time for yourself. And asking for help is not being rude. It's not any sign of weakness. It's just something that you owe it. We owe it to ourselves. So I think women in general, they have a little challenging time, a little bit more, because of the existing structure, the social norms that we are the caring ones, so we have to, do more, and it's okay. So kids, how are kids doing? It's something, that make sure you talk to your kids, make sure you check in with them, make sure you huddle with them, make sure you are their friends now, also with the social isolation, so you have to be their friends too now. Make sure you're checking on the kids and make sure that they're checking on their friends so that they're doing well. So it's just a support system that not only as a friend, not only as a family, but also as a friend, it really comes in very handy right now during these times. Um, I know we've been telling our kids, stay away from phones, social media, but now it's interesting. We're saying, okay, you know what, connect to the social media, get your phone, text, and make sure people are doing okay. So the times have changed a little bit, and I think it's needed though to some extent, as long as we have the balance. I think it's good. It's all good in terms of the social interaction the kids now may have to do. Um, Keeping kids busy, keeping kids challenged. I mean, with the online schooling, the kids are doing 2 to 3 days a week. Our kids are doing virtual martial arts session once a week, piano session, they're tutoring, merit badges for the Boy Scouts. So just keeping them challenged enough, busy enough, and not overwhelming them. And I think that really is something I'm sure a lot of us are doing. Um, and we may need to start planning for long term for our kids, the academics, because they may not go back to school this year at all. So how do we kind of prepare ourselves, prepare our kids that, this is a possibility? I mean, looking into the long-term academic options, like whether it's homeschooling. I mean, it's things that we have to start thinking, and it does add to stress as a parent, speaking for myself, like, other than work, taking care of their health, household stuff, we do have to think about where this is heading when it comes to our kids' academics. So I do have an 8-page long list for all the different websites. I have given it to Som, so maybe he can share all the websites, all the activities like Kids Rec from K to 12. They can all share different activities. So that might be useful to some of you. So please take a look. Now coming to our seniors, I think they have been hit the hardest because they really rely on in-person interaction. They like to meet people, go for their walk and talk, sit on the bench in the park and have that conversation, that connection. Places of worship are closed. So how do we help them to stay connected? I mean, it's something that we may need to help them with technology and be patient, very patient about it. I tried to wish my mother Happy Mother's Day this morning. I tried to FaceTime her, so that was interesting. But at least she got to see me, so it was 50% success. Um, and I'm having more video visits with my older patients, and they love it. I mean, they're so happy to see actually another human being. They won't stop waving, and so it's they're the most happiest bunch. So just make sure that keep our seniors connected because they really miss hugging their grandkids and visiting them. So just make sure that you are aware of that. I'm going to show a third slide, and that's basically I want to sum up things about self-care, basically like my 4 pillars of self-care. So physical activity, I mean, that's something really important. And what I normally do is in between my schedule, calling patients, I'll do a quick workout or a quick stretch or Zumba or something because that keeps my energy level going. Nourish, I picked a few dishes and I grill a lot more. So I am eating healthy. So I'm trying to, take care of that part. Connect. I think that is going to be the most important thing right now. I mean, form some groups, like pick up some gardening, some cooking club. We have a lot of virtual sessions with our friends where we celebrate birthdays. We just had one last night with a dancing session with Antakshari. So yes, we are connecting in a different way, but it's still working. It's still helping. And then reduce stress. I mean, again, there are so many apps in terms of meditation, so something you can hear about, talk how to manage your stress, your anxiety, some self-care skills, some self-coping skills. So just make sure you look into those options to take care of your mental health. So this is all mental and physical health. So make sure you do take care of yourself in terms of that. And I want to show one last slide to conclude. So this is something, I kind of see it as how emotionally, like we have been through or people have gone through this COVID pandemic. We were all in the fear zone, right? Some of us still maybe, but that's fine. But this is when people, started getting the toilet papers or Lysols, all wipes and all the rice. And so, people were scared. And I'm going to admit, I was scared. I did actually have an anxiety attack because I was like, how am I going to take care of my patients? What if I get sick and I'm going to bring it back home? What if my kids get sick? So I did have an anxiety. I did have a lot of stress about it. But then I kind of, went into the learning zone. And I start to not thinking about things that I can't control. I stopped watching news for some time. I came off of social media for a few weeks because I was just getting overwhelmed with so much information. So I had to take care of myself. So I kind of made a create a little block so I could learn, I can reset my button and just kind of recognize what's in my control and what I can do. And I try to kind of work on that. And then the growth zone. I think that growing zone, I think this is where I am for the most part, but I do tend to step back into the learning zone. So it's between the growing zone and the learning zone. And how do we find ourselves? How do we sustain ourselves in that growing zone? Is like, you think about people, like, think about others, like, whether it's how can I help my patients or whether, it's all the frontline healthcare providers, right? How much sacrifice they're doing right now. All of the essential workers, truckers, grocery shoppers. I mean, think about all those people, like how much they are helping us. So grateful, gratitude. I think that's very important in this growing zone that I'm talking about. Finding a purpose. I mean, other than taking care of your family, your friends, I mean, find a purpose to connect with someone. Pick up phone, call, see how they're doing. So find your own purpose, whether it's picking up a skill, new skill. So that there's always something that you can think that you can do something differently that you haven't done in a long time. Um, Grateful, gratitude. I think that's my biggest wellness mantra is gratitude because it starts from home, neighbor, it just reflects all across and it really kind of gives you so much of sense of satisfaction that I really wish we would practice more, practice early, talk to our kids about it, like the gratitude, like, how important it is to develop early in the age, and, so just those things, I think it kind of helps to grow and sustain our growth in terms of gratitude. And I'm just going to thank everyone for their time and spending part of their evening with us. So I want everyone to stay safe. I want everyone to take care of yourself, refuel yourself because you cannot pour from empty cup. And yes, yeah, we have another problem, women problem like mask, right? Which one goes with which dress? So just to kind of end up on a light note. So thank you again. Thank you for being a great virtual audience.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vidhi. That was really fantastic.
Thank
You
you.
hit the spot. I'm
Thank you.
sure our participants will have a lot of questions for you. We're going to save them for the end. And I'd like to turn it over to my dear friend and respected colleague, Dr. Archana Bindra, who's the president of our Indian Physicians Organization here in Northern California. In addition to being an absolutely stellar endocrinologist, I know that she's a wonderful mom and a great person. Over to you, Archana.
Thank you, Pankaj, for the kind words. I'm happy to be here this evening. And good evening and good morning to everyone all around. It's amazing that with all these platforms, we can all get together like this and create some happiness in these kind of lonely times that we have gone through in the last few weeks with this whole virus situation. Dr. Reddy, that was an excellent talk. And it gave us a lot of insight into the different issues that have been going on. I did have a few questions so that came across, and I thought maybe I would shoot them out. So the first thing that came to my mind is that we're physicians and we have the ability to do telemedicine and see our patients and have video conferencing and everything. But I do think that there are lots of people who have lost their jobs, and how are they coping with that?
Yeah, so I do get a lot of calls. I have connected with a lot of patients, who are saying, Dr. Vardy, this is my last day of insurance. I'm losing my job next month, next week. And it's, like I said, it has taken its toll, like economy-wise, like people are losing their job. And it's tough, something that I guess we can't really control right now because of the extent of this pandemic. And, I'm just hoping, that they're able to find jobs in other areas, that can open up and we can get the economy back going. But right now, it's such a tough situation that a lot of people are going through. Yes, we are lucky, some of us are lucky that we are in that profession where we have more stability and more safety. But yes, a lot of people, and I can understand like why they're getting more anxious, and but it's just hoping it's temporary, like like I said, they can come back in another profession. Maybe they can go and learn some skills, maybe they can get some certification, so maybe they can find other ways to do something different and come back to the workforce.
Yes, I think this would be an excellent time for somebody to take the advantage of the computers and do a lot of online courses if they needed to improve their resume and make things a lot better for them. I do agree. I actually forgot to introduce myself. I am an endocrinologist in the San Jose area. And basically what I do is I treat diabetes and hormone problems. And so I have actually noticed that a lot of kids who have been spending a lot of screen time, I do get a lot of older kids who are like 18, 19, 20, who have actually resorted to drinking alcohol. They've resorted to going back to their old habits, a lot of, because they're all stuck at home and all this screen time and not necessarily getting out and exercising. And obesity has become a factor. So is that something that you've encountered? Have you kind of?
Well, I mean, in general, like when you see, there are a lot of other problems have cropped up, like domestic violence. You know, that's one of the major one because of it's probably with lockdown, the resources are not there for a lot of people to reach out and get help. And then again, with more alcohol intake, more substance abuse because of the stress. So I think it's causing a lot of psychological, behavioral changes around.
Mhm.
And again, different age groups are having their own problems in terms of coping with the lockdown. With in terms of teenagers, yes, I can see that they want to go out and they want to resume, especially the weather is getting better here in West Coast. So, but we still have to, again, talking to them, making them look into, read some data, say, this is something, that we have, this is the only choice we have right now is social distancing. And, this is something that we all have to do. I mean, they can do a lot of social media in terms of social networking. Like I said, I do let my kids, like they're 14, I mean, they're not 18, 19, but still, they understand that where I'm coming from, because I give them their space to do what they want to do. But I also set some rules that, what, we have to do this. And, it's having that word, having that dialogue with your kids that, we are not just your parents, we're also your friends right now. With the lockdown, you're stuck with us basically. So I think it's just communication is the key part in terms of how we, and again, Zoom session, family session, a family night, family game night, board games. I mean, they all need to come back, right? Because that's what we used to do back in India growing up, right? Playing in the house, playing, board games. So, and again, going out for a walk is not a problem as long as you're masked up and you have safe distance. So you can still encourage some physical activity as long as it's done within the, the guidelines. So there could be a lot of different things, different aspects.
Yes, I do agree with that. I'd like everyone to put in their questions as we go along so we could take them a little later or even right now if you had something burning that you would like to ask. Since I don't really see anything as of yet, I did have another thought that comes to mind. I actually live with my mother-in-law, and I've noticed that she has been spending a lot of time on the sofa. And she used to go to ICC and spend a lot of time with other older folks doing yoga and etc. And that has actually not been there at all. And she's pretty much been in the house for the whole time, which I think has made it very difficult in some ways. I mean, she has been entertaining herself with TV and the usual and cooking and stuff like that and helping me out immensely, which I have been very grateful for. But I think that they need to have some other outlet. And what do you do in this time frame when, you don't have anything going on?
Right. I mean, it's like a double-edged sword, right? I mean, it's a blessing that they're here in the house, to kind of help us because we are working from home too.
True.
So, but in terms of like, yes, they're missing that that connectivity, that connection, and how do we kind of, make them change the way they connect now, because like I said, it's going to be a long term, like 6 months to 1 year, and so it's something, that they need to maybe join Zoom sessions. A lot of senior people are joining a Zoom session, whether it's like some mandir activities. So they are joining, doing a lot of Zoom sessions. And, we do need to encourage activity because I do see a lot of weight changes, like you mentioned, obesity, and then blood sugars. Diabetes is actually, some patients are saying because of the activity, it has caused increase in the blood sugars too. So it's affecting our seniors a lot more because when they're not active, they lose their muscle mass faster and, they kind of get weaker. So when I talk to my senior patients, I encourage them, you have to do some sort of chair exercise, chair yoga. You can still be active. You can still be inside the house and you can still be active. So I just kind of give them some resources that, you go out, but you can still maintain your gardening. Right now, the weather is getting better. So be out, do some gardening, but don't forget to do your shoulder, your exercises, because you need to maintain your muscle strength and muscle weight.
Right. I'm not seeing any other questions popping up. So how do you go about your day? How do you manage to keep yourself and your sanity and everything in all of this? I mean, I'm a women physician and I have a child at home, and sometimes I just find it difficult to, go about my day and not lose my temper somewhere.
No, and this is okay to do that. Women are supposed to, show all emotions. So it's okay if you lose it, once in a while. But here's the thing, for me, um, I think I do need to have some time to myself. I think everyone deserves some time to themselves. So after I'm done with my schedule, take care of the meals, I do have a dedicated Zoom exercise session, 1 hour, 1.5 hour a day, every day. And I started doing that a week or 10 days ago. And I found that immensely helped me with dealing with my own anxiety, because I actually went into some sort of a mild depression because I was not working for 10 days. We took vacation and I had nothing to do. I had like lost purpose. And then I was like, I'm not doing any patient care. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm just home cleaning, cooking. So this is not what for me life is, all about, so I needed more challenge. I was missing that challenge. I was missing that purpose. So once I got back to work, finally I had the best first day back to work. I had 7 video visits with my older patients. And I was just like totally like day and night when I started work. And then exercise. I'm a huge believer of what it does to your body, like emotionally, more, physically, yes, but what it does to you emotionally, I think that's my life savior. So, and again, your social connect, your network. As you know, we have a huge WhatsApp group of, Desi
Oh yeah,
doctors.
I'm very well aware.
So I think that is my to go to. And, we have such a great network. Like whenever somebody's down, we just know somebody's down and we go reach out. So, having your social core connections that you can reach out to if you need any help. And it's okay to ask for help because you can't be resilient all the time. You can't be strong all the time. And it's okay to drop the ball sometimes. You don't have to be.
Sometimes I think we would wonder what we would do without the WhatsApp and all the other social media. Imagine if we had this problem like 20 years ago. We probably would have really had an issue.
Yes. I think it's a blessing, the social networking, because you maintain those bonds, which you need, so
So
that's
we have someone who would like to make a comment. Manju Bhargav, can we unmute?
Yeah, I think I am unmuted.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am a senior, and I would like to say about you people are discussing about how do seniors to pass their time. So I think technology is a rescue for us, and um, considering me and many other seniors I know are having pretty busy schedule whole day. Only thing is our pattern of life has changed, and now we have set in this pattern, but we are busy. Like my day starts 6:30 a.m. with a meditation for which I have to wake up around 6 to get ready, and then up till 7 meditation, and then after that Sri Ravi Shankar is broadcasting live meditation 7:30 from India, Bangalore, and which our time is 7, that up to 7:30, and which extends sometime up till 7:45, and then get up and take your tea and all, and then 9 o'clock again something. I have several Zoom registrations, and every day, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 12, ICC Cupertino and Palo Alto. I am living in Palo Alto, so I know about that. So they have such amazing sessions, which are so informative, and I think almost every day some exercise we are doing, and that keeps us so like not only physically busy, mentally also occupied, because there are so many talks and something where you can participate. So much to do. And Thursday is this wellness, and then today again I found this, so quickly I registered, and then I am here. So I don't think that I have any issue of passing time, rather I'm short of time. So
That's
that's what,
really good that
yeah.
you seem to
That's
have
really
time
good.
to up to date.
And I think many seniors are there like me. I'm not the exception. I
So
think
yeah,
there are many which, yeah. So
thank you for
yeah,
the
yeah.
I hope there are many that are like you, that who would be able to spend their time so productively. We have someone else with a question that says, what are the top three issues faced by grandmothers during the lockdown, and the specific action items you would recommend to them to deal with those issues?
So top three. So again, like, Manju, she gave really good idea about her routine. So I think, if we can have, Manju's routine, it's going to help a lot of people. So staying active in terms of socially active, in terms of the top three would be, depending on the education level, whether how comfortable they are using technology. I think that would be one factor in terms of how comfortable they are using technology, computer, laptop, or their smartphones. So that could be one factor. The other thing is, obviously they're not seeing their family in person as much. Or maybe there's some families, they can't travel back because there are a lot of families who are here. They were supposed to go back to India, or they are in India, they're supposed to come back. So I think there's a lot of traveling chaos also. So definitely, the distancing has made a lot of our seniors depressed because they just can't hug their kids, their grandkids. So, I mean, it kind of varies, like, where you are. It varies with your educational background. And, I think between those two would be the most top two, I think, factors in deciding, like, how our seniors are able to face or come out of it, and, what kind of help they have, whether they have a good support at home. So, it just depends on from like person to person, like different factors affecting their quality of life, how it has changed now.
So we have a physician question and comment. As physicians, burnout is already high. How can we live with moral distress and the guilt of deep sense of duty versus the risk to my family? Any suggestions on strategies of how to create the balance and feel a sense of purpose?
Yeah, that's a whole 1 hour talk, honestly speaking. We'll be here forever talking about it. But yes, we do see a lot of distress. We do see there's going to be a lot of post-traumatic stress disorder in our healthcare givers, because inability to provide the care that we want to, the expectations set on us, moral injury, ethical injury. I mean, we have to go through so much of emotional trauma because we are trained to treat the disease, but what we were not trained to is to see all this emotional conflict that we're going through. I don't feel safe. I fear for my family. I mean, we have like today's Mother's Day. There's so many mothers that are not able to hug their kids because they're working with COVID patients. So that's taking a toll, right? So things like this, it will add up. And I just hope, we have good resources for our healthcare providers to give them like a helpline to get them out of it. But we need help. We need more help. We need more resources. And it's not going to be like, once COVID is over, we're going to be fine, normal, everything is going to go away. No, this is going to have a long term. We already have a burnout rate of 50% in physician. And especially in female physician, the burnout rate is higher. So this is obviously going to increase our burnout rate. So how well equipped are we? I mean, as organization Kaiser, yes, we have tools and resources. What about our physicians who are doing private practice? So it depends, like, who has what resources. So it is going to take its toll. And so that's another repercussion, like, we kind of, are so guarded, and so it's going to happen. But stay strong. Like I said, we need to support each other. We need to stay positive, reach out, talk, pick up a phone, and just do whatever you can in your capacity, whether you're physician or non-physician. Just reach out and just talk about it. Just talk about it and see what you can do about it. And what you can't control, you just can't control. But do your best and try to stay positive and take care of yourself as much as possible.
Thank you, Jasdeep. It seems that that's all that we can really do in this phase of our lives. It is a very challenging time, and today is a very happy day, but of course this day should be every day, as she mentioned. I think we need to celebrate women, and I think people in general, every single day. Everybody should be happy. I'd like to introduce our next speaker. I'm actually from Bombay, and I've had the opportunity to attend one of his laughter sessions at Priyadarshini Park in the mid-1990s. And I didn't ever think I would be on the same panel with this person ever in my life. And so I'm extremely honored. For those of you who don't know who he is, this is Dr. Madan Kataria. Dr. Kataria is a physician as well as, as well as the founder of the Global Laughter Movement. I think his main job is for having immunity and lightening up and celebrating with laughter yoga. And that's what he brings to us today. So with any further, I'd like to bring him. Dr. Madan Kataria.
It's time to laugh. I will
now, everybody will be on video so that they can all be seen and we can all enjoy together.
Keep them muted for a while. I'll tell you when to unmute so that we can have a great laughter session online. So thank you, Dr. Jasdeep. It was really enlightening. Thank you, Dr. Archana, Dr. Vij. And it's an honor to be sharing the stage with you, virtual stage with you. And before we laugh, there might be some new people in this group. So I just want to share with you that what is laughter yoga, how it can contribute especially to the mental health and physical health, increase our immunity, reduce our stress levels down. So just I'll explain in a minute and then we'll get going with laughter exercises. Okay, are you ready to laugh? Just understand that laughter yoga is not a comedy. This is an exercise program where we laugh on purpose. Why? Because a lot of scientific studies have shown that even if you laugh for the sake of laughing, even if you act like a happy person, your body doesn't know whether you're acting or whether you're really happy. So you still create the positive, happy chemicals. Second, laughter itself is like a breathing exercise. When you're laughing, you're exhaling a lot of stale air out of your lungs. And when you laugh out, you inhale more oxygen. So it's the best way to oxygenate your body and brain. And that brings the health benefits. What I did in the last 25 years, there are more than 25 to 30 research papers all over the world on laughter yoga method, because people had some serious doubts that laughing for the sake of laughing is really good or what should be natural laughter. But what I want to say that laughter exercises are much better way to deliver the benefits of health benefits of laughter than natural laughter. Natural laughter comes in few seconds here and there. It's not sustained laughter. Now, science tells us that to get the health benefits, you must laugh continuously for some time, and that should bring physiological and psychological changes much better way. So I feel that laughter yoga is a better way to get the health benefits. Now, how we are doing in COVID-19 when laughter clubs were physical clubs and we meet in person in groups. So we are actually laughing more than ever before. In fact, we are the only community who are laughing much more than anybody else in the world, because laughter yoga is not something about funny. We are doing as an exercise. So I suggest that now it's time to laugh. I'll show you some laughter exercises. So I'll give you a little overview. The funniest thing is we start with some COVID laughter exercises. So first we'll be washing hands, and we will be washing hands and laughing a little bit. And then there will be social distancing laughter, like, oh, keep away. So this is social distancing. Then a little bit of sanitizer and, and taking a temperature on your forehead. So these are exercises going around in laughter yoga community. They are becoming very, very popular. And also don't touch your eyes, don't touch your nose, and like so I suggest that even if you feel a little bit awkward, just keep laughing. Treat it as like as an exercise. This is one of the best exercise. And I tell you that it keeps your mind positive. Now, everybody say how to keep your mind positive in COVID-19 stress. To keep your mind positive, you have to change your chemistry. Thoughts will keep coming. You can't do anything about it. So first thing, limit the input. Like, don't watch news channels. They are terrible. So we told all our laughter joke, 3.5 million laughter jokes. Can you
It is not mute.
can you mute this? Just 1 minute I'll take and then we'll start laughing. So first, block the news channels, means don't watch in the morning. I know that it's important to know what's happening around the world. Watch the news only in the evening and maybe 30 minutes is good enough. But don't pollute your mind straight away first thing by reading newspaper in the morning. And we all 3.5 million laughter yogis are doing that. We are not watching news channels. We are not reading newspapers. So that cuts down the negative input to your mind. Then how do you create positive mind? So we have laughter clubs on Zoom. Every 15 minutes there is a laughter club on the Zoom. You can find the information on my website, Laughter Club. And then we can start doing laughter on the Skype. There are a lot of fun activity. So I'll lead you through some laughter exercises. First one is to laugh and breathe. Put your hands out like this and take a long deep breath in. Hold your breath and laugh it out. Once again, take a long deep breath. Hold it and laugh it out.
This is fantastic.
So what I suggest that when you laugh a bit longer to get rid of all your residual air from your lungs. It will oxygenate your lungs, make your lungs stronger, and your immune system will become stronger. So next exercise is called fake it until you make it. So we will start pretending laughter until it becomes real. Okay, you can start with something like ha 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 ha. Come on, everybody. One of the funniest exercises we do is called credit card bill laughter. So you put your hand like this. This is a bill for your Visa card or MasterCard or American Express. So look at it and laugh about it, and then show it to your friends online. Okay, ready? Go. It's not funny. So next exercise is called mental floss laughter. Laughter is very good for your mind. So it cleans your mind. So normally we use dental floss to clean your teeth. Now let's clean the mind with a larger thread and bind it around your finger and clean your mind and laugh. It's so infectious when you're doing even online on virtual laughter clubs. We have almost like thousands of clubs going on virtually, and we don't have. So what I want to say is that keep your mind positive. You have to change your chemistry, to change your hormones which are circulating. And the best way to do that is to do this laughter yoga exercises. Laughter yoga is not a rocket science. Simple. Breathe and laugh. Breathe and laugh. And it takes care of your anxiety, moves your diaphragm. Do it with me. Take a long deep breath. Inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. So, like this, we have created thousands of exercises. And the last exercise I want to share with you, you must do it with your family today when you sit on the dining table for dinner, lunch, or breakfast. And this exercise is called 1 minute laughter challenge. Now, mind you, it's not easy to laugh for 60 seconds. But when you're doing it in a group, it becomes contagious and it can go on and on. I bet. No need of jokes, humor, comedies, nothing. So this is called dining table 1 minute laughter challenge. And we will do right now with, I want to see if you guys has the capacity, if you guys have the laughter muscles to laugh for a minute. It's not easy. So let's start 1 minute laughter challenge, and which you will do with your family today before eating dinner or breakfast or lunch. So this is 1 minute laughter challenge. Your time starts now. Start.
Come.
Keep going. Don't stop. Wash your hands.
This temperature station.
Very good. Nareen is really happy. I remember Nareen's father was a very staunch believer of Laughter Club in Jaipur. And most of the folks in Laughter Yoga clubs are seniors. And this is the time seniors need to wake up their immunity, increase your oxygen level. And I can't think of any easy technique than Laughter Yoga, which is now present in 110 countries. So we have more information on laughteryoga.org. So put Laughter Yoga on search to your number. And I would love, you can join any Zoom laughter class. Zoom laughter class lasts for 20 minutes of non-stop laughter. And it's so funny. You see other people laughing, don't need anything. And best way to keep your mind positive is Laughter Yoga. You must have felt. How are you feeling right now?
Good.
So please do it every day. And don't forget 1 minute dining table laughter exercise before eating. So please try today and see what happens. And you can continue every day. So 1 minute is not a big deal. Please go ahead. And thank you very much for giving me opportunity. I can go on and on, but I think talking about Laughter Yoga is not important as doing laughter exercises. So I hand you over to Dr. Pankaj. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was
Thank you. It was so
absolutely
much fun.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This was wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Virdi, for a fantastic session. Thank you, Dr. Kataria. Thank you, Dr. Bindra. And thanks to all of you that joined us. We had over 40 people with us. Really appreciate your spending the last hour. And You'll be getting some more information from us on email. These are ongoing sessions that we're holding, and we're really happy to make your Mother's Day a little bit better and to
Thank you.
share a little bit of COVID positivity with all of you.